Hello friends, have a nice day. This is Professor G.S. Wazire from Department of Electronics, Sri Shivaji College, Akola. Friends, today's topic for discussion is PN junction. As you know that there are two types of semiconductor materials, P-type and N-type materials. In case of P-type material, there is majority of positive charges, and in case of N-type semiconductor material, there is majority of electrons, that means negative charges. Now when P-type semiconductor material is suitably joined with N-type semiconductor material, then the contact surface is called as PN junction. Try to concentrate in this figure. As shown in figure, there is greater concentration of holes in P region and greater concentration of electrons in N region. That means in P-type region, holes are in majority numbers, whereas in N-type material, electrons are in majority number. Due to this difference in concentrations, the electrons from N region will try to diffuse into P region like this, and at the same time holes from P region will try to diffuse into N region like this. Thus, they terminate their existence by the recombination with each other. This recombination of free and mobile holes and electrons produces the narrow region at the junction, and this region is called as depletion layer or depletion region. Because this region, I am talking about this particular region, is depleted, that means it is empty for free and mobile charge carriers, and that's why the region contains fixed and immobile positive as well as negative ions. If we see on both sides, these are negative ions, and on this side these are positive ions. Due to absence of free charge carriers, this region behaves like an insulator. Again, I want to see, we are talking about this region. Also, because of charge separation or ions, an electric potential is established across the junction, even though it is not connected to any external voltage source. That means in this region we get positive polarity towards this side and negative polarity toward this side. This potential is known as junction potential or barrier potential, and it stops further flow of charges across the junction. At room temperature, the value of this potential is about 0.3 volt for germanium and 0.7 volt for silicon material. Also, this value depends upon the doping density and electronic charges and an ambient temperature of this PN junction. Now, this PN junction can be connected either in forward bias or in reverse bias. Now, throughout this slide, we will discuss about the forward bias PN junction. Try to concentrate on this figure. When positive terminal of battery is connected to P side and negative terminal is connected to the N side of the PN junction, then it is called as forward bias PN junction. Due to this type of battery connections, the holes from P side are repelled towards the junction, means we can say like this, whereas the electrons from N side are repelled towards the junction. As a result, both electrons and holes are driven towards the junction where they will recombine with each other. This large movement of electrons to P side and that of holes to N side of the junction constitute the large current flow through the PN junction or semiconductor crystal. Now come to forward bias voltage ampere characteristics of the PN junction. Due to the applied external voltage, the barrier potential is reduced, which allows more current to flow across the junction. Thus, the crystal offers very low resistance to the current flow in forward direction by reducing the thickness of the depletion layer. Voltage ampere characteristics of this forward bias PN junction are shown in this figure. From figure, it is clear that the forward current increases exponentially with the applied voltage. Exponentially means at beginning the rate of flow of current is less and finally it goes on high value. At room temperature, a potential difference of 0.3 volt for germanium and 0.7 volt for silicon is required to disappear the depletion layer and to flow the current through it. This voltage is called as threshold voltage or cut-in voltage or knee voltage. Actually, the voltage for germanium it is 0.3, we can show it like this, and the same voltage for silicon it is 0.7. After this voltage, the current increases linearly with the applied voltage. That means if forward voltage is increased beyond a certain safe limit, it will produce extremely large current which may damage or destroy the junction due to overheating. Normally, the germanium device can withstand junction temperature of 100 degrees Celsius, whereas the silicon device can withstand the temperature of about 175 degrees Celsius. And obviously, it is clear that silicon material is preferred as compared to germanium material. So let's stop here. Thank you very much.